Who is the bodyguard? I am Chris with the Joshi Wrestling Recap for Stardom March 21st, 2022, available on Stardom World. This was the final show before the two big Stardom shows on 26th and 27th. The card was headlined by SWA title match, but most important match of the show was the final tag match of Shuri and Julia as a team. The blow-up of Donald Del Mondo may be more low-key affair than what was expected. I should note the acoustics of the building the show was in just ate noise, so the crowd was quieter than normal. This was a multi-camera show with no commentary. We opened with a singles match between Mirai and Miyu Amasaki. Miyu Amasaki is only a couple weeks into her Stardom in-ring career, and sometimes it shows. She looked very nervous walking the ring, and for the first few minutes of the match. Mirai and Miyu Amasaki started with some basic holds and locks before Mirai used her strength advantage to hit a few body slams. Miyu Amasaki threw a few weak forearms to Mirai, but Mirai brushed them off and backed down Miyu. After being backed down, it felt like Miyu Amasaki calmed down a bit and the pace of the match went up. Miyu Amasaki started targeting Mirai's leg with kicks and submissions throughout the match, hoping to remove Mirai's base. This did slow down Mirai, but she was still too powerful for the rookie. A couple times in the match, Mirai did try to hit a lariat, which Miyu Amasaki dodged each time, but Mirai finally leveled Miyu with one. After that, Mirai applied a Boston Crab and Miyu Amasaki couldn't escape and tap. Mirai wins by submission. After the bell, Mirai offered to shake Miyu Amasaki's hand, but she slapped it away. Looks like she's learning Queen's Quest penchant for not shaking hands. The second match was a fun tag match between members of Stars. They split up the current tag champs Hazuki and Kaguma and put them on opposite teams. Kaguma with Hanan on one team, with Hazuki and Momo on the other. There was no animosity between the teams, they just went out and put on an entertaining match. Kaguma and Hazuki started the match, and immediately Kaguma tried to get Hazuki to do the Kuma pose. Hazuki has no patience for Kaguma's Kuma pose, even if they are on the same team and need her in the gut. After that, they traded arm drags until Hazuki countered a Kuma clutch attempt and tagged in Momo Kogo. The rest of the match was pretty back and forth between both teams. One spot I found very funny was when Hazuki put Hanan in position to boot scrape her face, so Kaguma set up Momo Kogo and did the same. Kaguma and Hazuki proceeded to do the boot scrapes followed by the kick through they usually do when they are in the tag team, but they were on opposite teams for this match. After getting some help from Hazuki, Momo Kogo had the edge against Kaguma, but Kaguma is smarter than your average bear, and after a missed kick by Momo Kogo, Kaguma rolled out Momo with the Kuma roll and got the 3 count for the victory. The next match was a preview of the upcoming Artist of Stardom Trios title match with Waka and May added. For Donald Del Mondo, we had current champs Natsupoi, Maika, and Himeka, with Mai Sakurai versus the Cosmic Angels team of Tam Nakano, Mina Shirakawa, Unagi Sayaka, with Waka Tsukiyama tagging along. This match was pretty quick, but Donald Del Mondo does bring out the aggression in Cosmic Angels. Cosmic Angels had their game faces on during the match and still did their dance to the ring. Tam Nakano and Natsupoi started for their teams and had a bit of a stare down, then a cool section where they kept countering each other's moves. Cosmic Angels went for the combination team moves pretty early in the match, but it didn't really pay off. It wasn't until after the match ended that I realized Mai Sakurai was never tagged in. Maybe Donna Del Mondo didn't want their weak link in the match, or they were protecting her. In any case, Cosmic Angels had no such compulsions when it came to Waka Tsukiyama. After Tam Nakano had weakened Himeka, Waka Tsukiyama was tagged in and went right at Himeka, but Donald Del Mondo ran in and got Himeka the time she needed to collect herself, then went on the offensive against Waka, putting her in the torture rack, followed that with the 2 vicious lariats, and finally the JP coaster for the 3 count. Himeka was showing a bit more cockiness in the match, which suited her, taunting Cosmic Angels a bit. The fourth match on the card was a Queen's Quest vs. Odotai matchup. For Queen's Quest we had Utami Hayashishida, Sayaka Mitani, Azumi, and Lady C. Odotai was Starlight Kid, Momo Watanabe, Saki Kashima, and Nalina. This match was another chapter in the Odotai vs. Queen's Quest story, although it was a small one. Momo Watanabe and Utami Hayashishida started for their teams and went away to throwing forearms at each other. The rest of Queen's Quest came in and beat on Momo a bit before Utami tagged Lady C in. When Lady C was in the match, Odotai gave Queen's Quest a bit of their own medicine, and Odotai came in and started stomping a hole into Lady C. Later in the match, Starlight Kid and Izumi faced off and had a nice high-speed section. These two always have good chemistry with each other. There were a couple more times in the match when either Queen's Quest or Odotai came into the ring to gang up on their opponent, but Odotai is getting used to Queen's Quest tactics. Sayaka Mitani was getting ready to dive to the outside from the top rope to take out Odotai, but they were ready for it and pushed Saya Kamatani off the ropes, and Otatai had control of the match from that point. Asahi Kashima palm strike, followed by Rina top corner double knees and submission, the Hydrangea on Lady C won Rina and Otatai the match via submission. The next match was a special tag team match, Ali Kaba, which is the team of Julia and Shuri, against Miyu Iwatani and Saya Ida. It was announced this would be the final time Ali Kaba would be a tag team because of the upcoming World of Stardom Red Belt title match between Julia and Shuri on the 26th. The match was also a bit of a preview for the 27th because Miyu Iwatani is taking on the winner of Julia and Shuri match on the 26th. None of the tension was shown between Julia and Shuri before the match. They wore their special Ali Kaba outfits and danced. This match was a bit of a slow build, but really grabbed me by the end. What impressed me the most was Saya Ida's performance. She seems to have shaken off any rust she may have had from her time off from injury. Miyu Iwatani and Shuri had a great exchange around the middle of the portion of the match, with Miyu countering Shuri's kicks, which had been a problem in the match for Miyu Iwatani. The end of the match saw Julia and Saya Ida in the ring against each other, but a combo move by Ali Kaba followed by the Bianca hold by Julia won Ali Kaba the match. The tensions came after the match, although Miyu Iwatani did try to break the tension by offering to trade Shuri her tail in exchange for the red belt, but that was rejected. Julia got on the mic and said Ali Kaba had to be broken up for both their sakes and Stardom's. Shuri was handed the mic, and she said Ali Kaba was fun, but on the 26th she will bring a new bodyguard, so recommends that all of DDM be in Julia's corner. Then they both left. Who is the bodyguard? Someone already in Stardom? A new roster member? Maybe it's prominence and they were in cahoots all along. We will know on the 26th. Now the main event, an SWA title match. Current champion Tekla versus challenger Ruaka. This was a good match, and I was impressed by Ruaka. Ruaka may be young, but she can hold her own in matches, and that didn't look out of place. I was also entertained that Tekla fought like an underdog in this match against a much stronger Ruaka. Tekla realized pretty quickly how Ruaka was and stopped trying to overpower her. Instead, Tekla used a variety of kicks and submissions to attempt to take down Ruaka throughout the match. Ruaka, on the other hand, just tried to get her hands on Tekla and suplexed, shoulder tackled, slapped, and forearmed Tekla. Ruaka looked like she had the match won after Starlight Kid tripped Tekla and distracted the ref so Ruaka could hit Tekla with her box. Ruaka followed that with a freezer bomb, but Tekla was able to reach the ropes to break the 3 count. A frustrated Ruaka tried for a second freezer bomb, but Tekla moved out of the way. They both fought for a bit more, but suddenly Tekla was able to roll up Ruaka with an O'Connor roll and got the 3 count and retained. After the match, Tekla said Ruaka is strong, so she isn't a big baby anymore. She is a monster baby, and declared an open challenge for the SWA belt. Tekla then closed the show and asked all of Donna Del Mondo to come to the ring, and they did, except for Shuri. And when Tekla named all of Donna Del Mondo members, Shuri's name wasn't called. Does that make it official Shuri left Donna Del Mondo? We will know the answer on the 26th. This was a good show with fun matches and some intrigue. I would recommend the third and the final 2 matches on the card to watch. The next Stardom shows will be the 2-night spectacular Stardom World Climax on the 26th and 27th, which are being shown on pay-per-view, but will be available on Stardom World a few days later. This has been the Joshi Wrestling Recap for Stardom March 21st, 2022. Thanks for listening.